played a soft schedule, they said. Played the softies, haven't played any tough teams. Took 2 out of 3 from St. Louis. How about the NL Central leading Milwaukee Brewers? 3-1 tonight as we welcome you to Phillies Postgame Live, presented by our friends at Cure Auto Insurance. Ricky Paul Batalico, I'm Michael Barkan. In a moment, John Kruk from the ballpark. What I love about a game like tonight's is there's so many different storylines that give you joy, Ricky Bo. Which one is the best for you?
I got to say David Dahl. I mean, when you think about him coming in here and picking up a couple big hits, a home run on his first day back, it's been a long time since he's been up at the big league level, and he even said that he felt like this was his first day at the big leagues again. There's nothing better than that. Nothing better than making a mark on your brand new team the first day you get in there. There's nothing better. I mean, he has now put himself into that situation where everybody on this ball club basically has done something to help this team win.
Becomes part of the story of this season. Remember when David Dahl got called up
and
he hit the single and then the home run, the 2-out single? Let's go to John Kruk. Call the game tonight in the booth with Tom McCarthy. Johnny, don't you know me? What's up, buddy? Let me ask you this question. So what's your favorite part of this one? Because you have Dahl, you have Zack Wheeler, you have that great double play, Wheeler to Real Muto to Bryce. There were great plays in this game.
Yeah, I tell you what, for a 3-1 game, it surely was exciting, both offensively and defensively. And, Rick, you're right. You know, David Dahl coming here right off the bat and contributing. And I think that's kind of the mantra in this clubhouse. It's like, okay, welcome to the team. Now go help us win. And that's what this whole season has been about with this team. It doesn't matter who. It doesn't matter how. At the end of the night, it's who gets the W. The play by JT on the double play, on the 1-2-3 double play with the base loaded, there's only a handful of catchers I know that could have made that play. And luckily we have him on our team that made that play and turned that double play and helped Zack, get out of that inning without giving up any runs with a base loaded, no outs.
Let's get a little bit into Zack Wheeler. I mean, in all honesty, I didn't think he had his greatest stuff tonight. As a matter of fact, I thought he fought himself through a couple of these innings. But like you just said, in that second inning, or was it? Yeah, it was the second inning, or the third inning, where he needed that double play ball. He made the pitches when he needed them. I mean, how good is this guy when he could go out there and probably with his B stuff tonight, still kind of cruise through a ball game? Yeah,
well, one, we know that he's going to compete. And that's every man on this roster. That you can say that about all of them. But two, you're absolutely right. When he needed to make pitches, he made pitches, and that's the sign of a great player. I used to talk to Curt Schilling a lot about pitching, and Curt said, if you get 30-something starts, maybe 5 you're like on top of your game. Everything's perfect. Your location's perfect. This is perfect. Your breaking stuff's working. Everything's working. Maybe 5. And then he said you're probably going to have 10 or 15 where you're like, I don't know what I got. I'm going to try to figure it out as we go. And I think that was the game tonight for Zack. He figured it out as he went along. And, JT and him worked really great together. And, you give up 1 run to a first-place team, without your A stuff, it's kind of what we expect from him now.
John, when I hear 114 or I see 114 pitches, I don't know what it is, but in today's baseball, I kind of get nervous. I know it's Zack Wheeler. I know he can throw that amount, but we're seeing guys, they routinely go under 100 pitches. And I also know he won't pitch until probably next Tuesday when they go to Boston after the London series. But 114, no big deal for a guy like Wheeler?
No. Look, when you have a veteran pitcher like him, and I'm sure it's him and Aaron, guys that have been around, I'm sure that Caleb Cotham went over and said, hey, how you feel after the 7th? I'm good. Or how you feel after the 6th? I'm good. I'll go out for the 7th. I don't care how many pitches I got. Like you said, Michael, he's not going to pitch again till Boston, which is, I don't even know when.
Tuesday.
Yeah, a week from tomorrow. So he's going to have plenty of rest, which he hates. So I'm sure he's going to get some work in London. I'm sure he's going to throw a side session in London to try to keep on some sort of normal schedule. But I don't think it's any big deal when you have a week off.
All right, I guess we got to go here, don't we?
No.
All right, let's go. Let's just get your take on the whole Rhys Hoskins thing.
Buzzkill Barkham.
What do you mean? It's a tricky ball. Are you kidding me?
No, I meant we had to get to this part of it, which is the Rhys Hoskins part. I just want to get your take on it.
I tell you what, it was emotional. I hate to admit it, but I will admit it because I love Rhys. I had tears in my eyes. When he was out loosening up before the game and the fans gave him a standing O, when Dan Baker announced his name in the starting lineup as the designated hitter, the place went crazy. His first at bat, that was unbelievable. The stolen base off JT. When you can get a smile during a game from JT, who's not really what you would call a guy that's like I'm gonna cater to the opponent type of guy, but that I think that tells you how much Rhys Hoskins meant to these players on this current Phillies team, the ones that got a chance to play with him. I thought it was great. I know Rhys, about a month or so back said he didn't know what kind of reception he was going to get. We knew the place was packed, and he got everything he deserved from these fans. And, they showed their appreciation for not only what he meant to the team, but what he meant to the city. Him and Jamie, his wife Jamie, they were out in the community doing everything, and they made Philadelphia their home. And he got the respect and the ovations that he deserved.
Here, John. But what about applauding him after a home run?
No.
I mean, come on, John. That's not a buzzkill. Were you standing in the booth? How about what about someone close to me right now? There are two daughters who were standing up in the stands applauding. I'm not looking at anyone in particular, Ricky.
They were applauding.
Okay, how about this for positivity, John? David Dahl, he's now batting .667. Yep. Will he keep it up all season?
Probably not 667, but the way he swung the bat today, 500 maybe, huh? Why not?
Could be. That's positivity, buddy. We'll check you tomorrow. Thanks, Johnny. All right. It's a great John Kruk joining us from the ballpark. It was so much fun, and thank you for asking John about Rhys Hoskins, because it was beautiful, and that's what we do in Philadelphia best. Yeah. We embrace those who have provided service and joy and fun for us, and that's what Rhys Hoskins did.
And let's face it.
We'll never forget him for it.
Let's face it, a lot of these fans paid a lot of good money to come to this game or to come to one of these Brewers games because they want to get one last taste of Rhys Hoskins, and this is your opportunity, really. I mean, he after this year, he's no longer a Philly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think at this point, the fan base still sees him as a Philadelphia Philly.
And this is the moment he steps to the plate for the first time, top of the second inning. He doffs the batting helmet, and you watch Rob Thomson and everybody in the Phillies dugout giving him sustained applause, genuine applause, pops out to shortstop in the second inning.
Step up. What do you think of your first impression of David Dahl?
I thought it was really good. I really did. The entire bottom of the order, Dahl, Sosa had an RBI, Rojas 2 hits and an RBI. So it's good to see. But David can hit, and it's a credit to going into the offseason last year. We were talking about depth, we were talking about pitching depth, but also position players, and the front office went out and got it. And you need it because there's going to be injuries. They're going to get banged up. It's a long year, and a credit to our player development system for keeping those guys sharp and getting them going. And it was great to see.
Doesn't work out like this, but Dahl came out instant contribution. Cody Clemens earlier this season.
Yeah.
How important is it for those guys when they come up to have immediate success?
Well, I think it helps, no doubt, and we try to get them in as soon as we can. I think that helps too, instead of sitting on the bench for 3-4 days, and then they get a little bit rusty and possibly get off to a bad start. But so we try to get them in early, but I think it really helps to contribute early.
When Zack gets out of a bases loaded jam like that in the second inning, how much did that kind of set the tone for the rest of his outing?
Yeah, it was huge. He put on a lot of pitches in that inning, and it was getting a little scary there. But JT made a heck of a play. I mean, he's an athlete, and he digs that ball to the dirt and throws from his knees to first base to get the 1-2-3. But I thought we were really good defensively. Rojas makes a great throw to the plate. I thought we played a really clean game.
What did you make of the night overall for Rhys?
I thought it was awesome, and I expected that from our fan base, and they gave it to him. And I know he was touched just by haven't talked to him obviously, but just the look on his face, I think he was touched and appreciative.
It's been 2 years since you've taken over the team as the manager. What's it like from win 197 from your very first win 2 years ago?
Well, I'll tell you the truth, when it first started, I was a little bit sped up, because it was, especially the first day, there was a lot of things going on and a lot of meetings and a press conference and, trying to figure out my routine because it completely changed. And so now I'm into my routine, so that's a little bit easier right now. But, there's still a lot of decisions to make and a lot of things to do on a daily basis. So it's a little bit different, but a lot's the same.
Did the schedule this week affect how long you sent Wheeler out there?
Sure.
Was it that more so, or was it like low stress innings?
No, it was more the fact that he's got a week off now before his next start, and the fact that 2 nights ago Ranger came out after 2. We go into extra innings last night, so our bullpen's a little bit roughed up and a little bit thin. So that the Ortiz at bat was Wheeler's last at bat, and I would have had to go get him, and then we'd probably have to use 2 more pitchers instead of just Hoffman and Alvarado. So I was hoping Wheels got out of it, and he did, and that was great.
Rob, you said you want to get guys in when they come up so they don't sit around, but at the same time, what is it about this organization that you trust guys as soon as they come up to plug them in? You did it with Clemens earlier, Rojas last year, they come in and have an impact. What does that say about the organization, and what makes you have the trust that those guys will come up and immediately impact the game?
I think it says a lot about our player development system, our scouting department as well. They sign the right guys, the right people. They have talent, and they're good people, and they're good teammates, and they know how to play the game. And our player development system does a great job honing their skills and getting them ready to come here and contribute. And we've done that for the last couple of years, and it's great.
Or the umpire was squeezing the daylights out of him, which was part of the problem too. So, there's always a problem behind a problem, but he got by everything. He did a nice little job.
As you look at these numbers and you see the bottom line on a 2.23 ERA this season, know that he is now 7-0 over his last 9 starts, Ricky Bo. Last 9 starts.
Yeah, is that any good?
That's not bad.
Right, the one thing we almost search for in him is perfection. I mean, every time he steps on the mound, you expect him to dot the I's on every single pitch that he throws. I mean, I'm no exception. That's the way I think when I think about Zack Wheeler. I think about he's a guy that could put the ball in any quadrant of that strike zone and throw it to the best of his ability. And when he's just a little bit off, you almost feel like helpless. You almost want to go out there and help him. But I look at tonight's game and I think to myself, wow. Can you imagine being that good when you don't have your best off-speed stuff and you come out with 1 run in 7 innings?
Yeah.
Think about that for a second.
And that's what Rhys Hoskins did for this town.
He did.
And that's what he got to show for it.
Yeah, good for him. I mean, he got a nice little ovation. I think that's a nice big pat on the back for him. And it's not over. There's 2 more days. There's a lot of people that weren't at tonight's game that I'm sure are going to give him an ovation tomorrow and again on Wednesday.
All right, Rhys Hoskins now in the Milwaukee Brewers clubhouse.
Rhys, is it tough to go up to the plate with tears in your eyes? Is it fair to say there might have been a few?
Yeah, definitely was. I have to say that's a first for me, but I think I was able to reel it in a little bit, got it right into the at-bat. I guess something about competing against people that that makes you lock in a little bit. But also the guy on the mound's pretty good tonight, so you better do that or you're probably not going to have too much of a chance.
Is there anything you can do to prepare yourself for that? Obviously, you've had time to think about it, you've talked about it, it's been on your mind, but is there anything you can do to prepare yourself for that moment?
I don't think so. I've seen it a bunch here. It's just what this fan base has done, will do. I mean, again, just overwhelmed with emotion there. be something that I get to tell a story, and really, really memorable for sure.
You were overwhelmed with emotion. What did you think of the big ovation from the fans?
Like I said, I thought it was loud. Yeah, I thought it was loud. I got to sneak a peek, up towards our family section, just to see, how my wife was going, and looked like she was probably shedding a couple tears too. So, yeah, it was loud. But that's what this place does. I'm not surprised by it.
I know the win was.
You must be doing something good. So, did you take any satisfaction in hearing some of those after the home run?
No doubt. Yeah, no doubt about that for sure.
I was going to say, I know the win was the most important, but just to have that moment of trotting around the bases and experiencing that, what was that like for you?
Yeah, different again, right? Like normally you go into a visiting ballpark and you hit a home run and you're not hearing any cheers. So the mix of boo and cheer was different. It was it's fun, but also you don't really hear a lot out there on the bases when you're trotting around. So. I had a funny little moment with JT at the plate and just right back into the game.
Yeah.
Did you feel like you surprised him a little bit, stealing second?
I hope so. Yeah. Obviously, wish we were able to get the run at home. Rojas made a great throw, but yeah, we'll always be able to go back and forth about that.